Switch gears for a sec and discuss foreign policy specifically concerning Iran. You've said that the recent actions taken by the international community against Iran is warmongering, and this revolves around the secret nuclear plant that was recently discovered. How so?
I don't like what's going on because I don't think it's in our interest. It's not in America's interest to go and antagonize and try to stir up trouble. Yes, it's a serious matter what's happening in Iran, but we don't have any right to spend tens of millions of dollars in a program with our CIA to have an overthrow of their government. And we're still involved. We've been involved in messing around with that government since 1953, and it's not in our interest. And we have such a mess over there now. We're still deeply involved in Iraq. You know, we're replacing a couple of troops with a whole lot of contractors. We're deeply bogged down in Afghanistan every day. That deteriorates. We're constantly bombing Pakistan. And here now we're stirring up trouble. If we put on stronger sanctions against the Iranians, that is an act of war. If somebody came and put sanctions on us and prevented our imports, we would consider that an act of war. So what benefit will it be to us? We're already bankrupt, and it's not going to make us safer. To me, that just stirs up more hatred toward us. Every time, every time somebody gets killed over there, whether we do it directly or indirectly, and we say, "Oh, they're the Taliban, they're the radicals, and they're the ones who cause trouble." They don't know that. I mean, they're people who are, in the 1980s, they were our friends. And we were allies with them and trying to keep the Soviets out of there. But every time somebody's killed over there and we get blamed, that's just more hatred directed toward us. It drives us further into bankruptcy. So the end of our empire must come for moral reasons, for constitutional reasons, but mostly economic reasons. It will come, and that contributes to this anger and frustration that so many people feel in this country. The majority of the American people don't even support putting more troops in Afghanistan. Of course, my position is much different. It's not that I don't want more troops in Afghanistan. I want them all to come home. And that, to me, is what would be in the best interest of the United States.
So if you feel that this new second nuclear plant is not such a risk to the international community, why do you think Russia has taken the actions it's taken and aligned itself a little bit more with the U.S. and Europe in terms of the way to approach Iran?
Well, I think there's been some diplomatic things going on because the anti-ballistic missile plans of Eastern Europe were removed, and I mean, they're playing a little cat and mouse. I think this whole thing is going to benefit China the most because China has all our dollars, or a lot of our dollars. They're going to be more motivated to spend dollars, and they will go and they will buy their influence in a legitimate capitalistic sense. They're going to invest dollars in Iran and influence Iran and maybe buy their oil. Maybe they'll help them on, there'll be a stronger motivation to get more refineries so they don't have to worry about imported gasoline. So I think this gives a tremendous boost to China and hurts us tremendously. But I just don't think Russia's heart's in it. I don't think Russia is necessarily going to. They're more likely to be aligned with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the group of countries that have gotten together to counterbalance our influence in that region.
Well, we've seen President Obama step out on the international stage addressing the General Assembly at the United Nations. You have to acknowledge that he does have a much different tone from his predecessor, from the Bush administration. It seemed as though he was reaching his hand out to the international community and willing to work with everyone who respects international law. Were you happy with his performance?
I know. I think the tone is better, but I don't think it's been followed up with action. If it would be, we wouldn't be begging and pleading to get more troops over there and threatening Iran. I mean, in one hand, it's diplomacy. At the other hand, is a big stick. I don't think policies have changed. I think the tone has changed, and that is good. But sometimes when the tone changes, it disarms the people. So the anti-war people in this country then let their guard down and say, Obama is great. He's talking. He talks more softly, and this is very good. So we don't want to criticize him at this time. At the same time, we move closer to a much greater conflict in the region. That's what I worry about.
Let's talk about why you actually are here in New York City. Your book has become so popular, your book, End the Fed, that it's still a widespread bestseller, and you're here for a book signing, conducting interviews all day long. Are you surprised that this movement that you inspired so many years back is still gaining so much momentum?
I don't think it's as much about me, except I'm delivering a message that they've been waiting for, to bring a lot of people together who have been frustrated about politics, sick of Republicans and Democrats, and all of a sudden hearing the message that they have believed in, believing in the rule of law, the Constitution, personal liberty, economic prosperity coming from the market rather than from government. And now there's been a lot of people I have found that have thought about and studied the Federal Reserve. It's excited young people in colleges that are inheriting a bad situation. So I think it's all come together, and if they still want to hear this message, I'm willing to deliver it.